each family has what's called an amakua. An amakua is basically your family demagogue, or the nature spirit that looks over your family. I was hanai'd into a Samoan family, actually the family of a kid who played here, David Maeva, and the family amakua is the turtle. And so all of the symbols have distinct meanings within the culture.
Okay.
And you know, it's a rite of passage in the culture to wear a tattoo, and it was one of the coolest experiences I've ever had in my life. I was coaching at a clinic in American Samoa. I was up on the board, and one of the coaches at the clinic saw my tattoos, and he said, "I want to take you somewhere very special." I said, "What are you talking about?" He said, "Just come with me." So we got in his pickup truck and we drove into the jungle on the interior of the island in American Samoa, and we drove up to this fale, which is a house, a big house, and there was a small fale next to the house, and he handed me a ia, which is the lava we call it, or ia. It's basically a sarong that men wear, and you couldn't get in the house without it. And I went there, and what he took me to was a traditional Samoan tattoo.
Yeah. So that's with
it is actually
right?
with it's a little hammer.
Yeah. And their teeth on them with ink in them. Yeah.
Teeth of a shark, and they dip it in ink. And in the culture, a tattooist is held with very high regard. And so typically, if you're going to be a chief in Samoan culture, you have what's called a pea. And a pea is basically a tattoo from just under your ribs to the top of your knees, everything.
Yeah.
And if in the old days, if you were to be a chief, you had to have a pea, and it's excruciating, as you can imagine. But if you gave up during the process, you would be banished, and because you disrespected your family. And in Samoan culture and Hawaiian culture, Polynesian culture in general, respect is everything.
Of course.
And so it's a wearing of a respect for your family, for your amakua, and all of that.
Well, let's start with the sea turtle, which is very important, I know, in Hawaiian and Samoan culture. So what does it represent? What does it signify?
Well,
You're on your
again,
words,
as you look at the turtle on my leg, the sea turtle represents wisdom, and the turtle is from the sea, and the sea is so precious to the people that live there because it provides so much for them. It was a highway, it was a food store, it was a number of things. So that is a very, very protective spirit, and again, it was kind of really, the first thing that happened is you are awarded this fishhook, which in Polynesian culture, a father, when his son was going out to start his family, would give his best fishhook to his son.
Okay.
His most treasured fishhook, so that he would have faith, he'd have confidence that his son would always be able to feed his family.
Sure.
And so in the culture, when you're recognized as a man and ready now to take care of your own family and hold up your responsibilities as a man, you wear the fishhook, and then the tattoo, came after that, and it's been a progressive, situation. I initially started when I was at Hawaii. I started to have my sleeve done, and I've continued with the other sleeve, and now some chest work, and now the guy that does it for me when I go back, because I just had some fresh work done here on my chest. The guy that does it for me is one of our ex-players, Aaron Kia, who played for the Jets and played for the Cowboys, and then went back home and did the work that it takes to become a tattooist, and he has a shop up on the North Shore, and so it's a ceremonial thing every time.
When did you first go to Hawaii, Jeff? And do you consider it home?
Yeah,
obviously you've embraced the culture and everything.
I do, you know, and it's kind of a unique deal in that, you know, I grew up in a home where you know, 5 kids and a father who was a baseball coach, and we bounced all over the place, everywhere from Coos Bay, Oregon to, you know, Sarasota, Florida. And I never really felt home. As a matter of fact, I always used to, you know, they told me the story about the stork, and I thought he either took a wrong turn or he got tired and just dumped me with these white people. But, you know, and then I in the 80s, I went to Hawaii for the first time, and I can remember this vividly, and it still does this to me. When I got off of the airplane and I stepped outside of, and Honolulu Airport's basically open air, and when I stepped out into that air and I smelled, it's different. You know, you can smell the flowers in it, the sea in it, and I took a deep breath, and it was just, I'm home. This is the place.
That's awesome.
And so one day when it's all done, then, you know, that's where I'll have my ashes spread in Haleiwa Bay. And,
that's fantastic.
You know,
yeah, that's great.